Baldacci speaks. Now we're going to react to a video real quick that I seen yesterday, and I thought it was very interesting as far as what Baldacci and his homeboy had to say on the Bootleg Kev show. Check it out. Now, of course, it's heating up in LA with Baldacci versus, a plethora of people, So anyways, without going too much longer, let's check out this clip and it'll speak for itself. Let's roll.
Okay, you just dropped a new song, new video that's got a lot of people talking, Rap Cattle.
Rap Cattle, man.
What motivated you to put this out?
So, I'm chill, I'm humble, I'm relaxed, dog. I do keep my ear to the street and see what's going on. I've seen a lot of people, slandering, dragging my name through the mud due to the fact that I pulled up to Goto's video that he shot in L.A., met the dude. I pulled up uninvited. Like I told, certain people that I pulled up uninvited, I did. John will tell you himself that I pulled up. Nobody invited me. I just went on my own. Go show.
And I'm going to be honest, y'all. One thing I noticed about Baldacci's video, right? Because if you don't know, I don't want to say too much, but there's like kind of some drama going on with Baldacci and other, I guess podcasters and rappers and whatever. But the point is, what I had seen when I saw this video of Baldacci dropping that Rap Cattle video is Baldacci, he's like with the whole hood. All his people, y'all, are in the video. And I kid you not, for me, outside looking in at a bunch of videos and people making YouTube, whenever you see, that full force move of your people with you, like in a video, especially in LA or Cali, I think it speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? Because the people in Cali, they're very, how do I say this? You could be a social media celebrity, rapper, whatever, but if your hood doesn't back you or if they're not rolling with you, it says a lot, right? And when I seen Baldacci's video, that's one of the first things I noticed. I said, dang, this dude got all his people with him. And that was very, that was a sight to see, to be honest. That's one of the first things I noticed. Anyways, he's talking about Goto's coming down and he went into the video. A lot of people had a problem with Goto's, coming to LA and shooting. I think it was a Jenny 69 video, and Baldacci ended up in it, and he explains that part. I followed homeboy on the right here on Instagram. He followed me back. He's one of Baldacci's, road dogs, should I say, and he seems pretty cool. But anyways, he's going to explain a little bit more about this, but let's continue.
Face. I did. I met the dude. We exchanged numbers. He was a humble cat, bro. Gotos was definitely a very humble individual. Told me, we communicated a little bit there. Basically took it a little further, communicated off, off that situation, off that video. And, everybody's for some reason assuming that I signed to Gotos.
Right.
Which I'm not signed to Gotos. Everybody assuming that I'm just like a northerner now, dog, that I'm from up there. Like, nah. We got good communication. We got respect. It's mutual. It's a mutual thing. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like, I'm not signed to Gotos. I'm signed to Civic Entertainment. I'm signed to the Effort Music. I'm signed to my neighborhood for life. You know what I'm saying? That's me. And that's what it was, though. Basically, people dragging my name through the mud. Oh, he's this, he's that, because he linked up with this person. They start putting up, and like I said, I'm not signed to him. We took like some pictures, fucking whatever. Anyway, we did a little business on a song, whatnot, and now everybody's just assuming this and assuming that, and I was over it, bro. I could only be humble for so long and just keep hearing people try to drag my name through the mud, so I came and aired them out. You know what I'm saying? I had to. That's why I named it that, Rap Cattle, air them out,
Well, it's not my place to like get into the politics of whatever.
Right.
Yeah, for people who don't know, obviously, if you're watching this and you're not from California, there's prison politics that are in play between Northern California, Southern California that have gone on for years and years and years and years. Right. It's no secret who you represent. It's on your face.
Right.
But I also for me, it's like you guys are both grown ass man
with a stretched www.
Right. So it's like I know Gotos to be a stand-up dude, a stand-up businessman, one of the coolest cats you ever meet in your life.
Definitely, I agree.
And you're also the same way, man. Like and so I guess for me it's like what the cycle of the segregation of where you're from in California, from outside, again, it's not I can't speak on the actual
I'm in the same boat as Kev over here. I'm dumbfounded sometimes at how it is, but it is what it is. That's how man is. Man is prideful. In America, throughout history, men love to engage in warfare. I would even say, battle and just I don't even want to say drama. They're always into it. It's always that's how man is. And I'm a Christian, so outside looking in, I'm like Kev over here. It's interesting. It's sad to be honest, but that's just how it operates and how it works. And there ain't no kumbaya over here. We just see it and we speak on it.
Finality of it.
And nobody.
Now this dude right here starts speaking some game in my opinion, right? I like this dude. I saw his profile too. It's like Free Palestine. He's like he's with that too. And I salute him for his free speech. It's cool to see I don't even know if homeboy's a rapper, but to see people express their free speech, especially when it's not the common the common narrative like everybody else has. So I did notice that on his profile, but salute the dude right here. He actually says a lot of great things in here, and we're gonna play it.
Nobody's really supposed to speak on. It's just not something that's and nobody's really supposed to speak on. It's just not something that we speak on the internet. But
I'm gonna be honest. My bad for cutting them off here. With all due respect, that's what I first noticed with these prison videos. Who did I first watch? I think it was homeboy, the Deuce Fiver. Forgive me for forgetting his name. Oh, Savage Studios. When I first seen people talk about prison on the internet, man, years back, it tripped me out because I come from a background where my stepdad was in prison. He was a part of affiliation, whatever organization, and he never spoke about it. Right? I've said it in other videos. He had a tattoo on his leg, and you could see the it was more back then. It was more subtle. You couldn't really tell, but you could see the letters, what they actually made of a dagger and a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like all in your face, but you could tell once you would look. But the point is, back then, no one would talk about this stuff. My stepdad wasn't out, in the free world, even bringing it up to nobody. It's like back then, prison stayed in prison, and the street was the street. That's just how it was. Again, with the internet, the explosion of people using the internet, social media, whatever, it seemed like the prison politics, got spread out there for all to see. And like I said, I tripped out when I first seen people talk about prison on the internet. I'm just being honest. And like homeboy says, they don't speak on it. Certain people have these rules or they don't even want to talk about it, right? And some people don't even want to even mention nothing about prison anyways, because I'm going to be honest, y'all. I think, and I've said it before, prison is for losers. If you go to prison, it's nothing to be glorified. It's nothing to be glamorized because you're losing time from your family. You ain't making no money. And especially if you have a wife and kids. I mean, what are you doing in a cell with a bunch of men? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. To me, prison ain't nowhere that I would want to brag about or talk about or anything if I had gone to prison. But like I said, nowadays, a lot of people talk about prison and a lot of channels have blown up due to speaking about it. I think, to be honest, it's because most of us are, with all due respect, squares in life, right? And I say it with the most highest level of respect for all people that never been to prison. We're regular people. They have families and jobs and careers. We're in the free world, and we watch some of this prison content or stuff like that. It's like a movie, right? It's more dramatic. Even though I interviewed my homeboy, Michael Bryan, he said that prison is very boring. Like 99% of the time it's boring and 1% is the part they talk about. But again, most people like us outside looking in, something about prison intrigues us because, you know what I'm saying, we live a boring life. And I say a boring life's a good life. But I digress. Let's continue.
But these dudes are comfortable speaking about things on the internet because they ain't plugged in. They ain't never been to no yard. They start podcasts and use these things to build their platform, but they don't even know what they're getting into. They don't know what they're talking about. If they want to be real, the program is the program. The program's not something you're supposed to talk about. But the program is, we at peace with them dudes. There ain't no beef with them dudes.
Man, when he said that, I said, man, that's a good point. If they really want to be, with the politics or at least, conforming to these rules and regulations, North and South is at a treaty right now. Everybody knows it. This ain't a secret. I've heard, every channel talks about it. I mean, the filters have gone out there. People know it's common knowledge that the North and South issue has been kind of calmed down. There's like a peace treaty, like I said, in prison because the guys in the back, all the big shots, they were in segregation for all day. They wanted to get out that cage, out that lockdown. So North and South had a or there was like some kind of a agreement with a bunch of prison gangs in Cali, of all places, to ceasefire. Right? It's kind of a peace treaty, like I said. So there's no really war with them that are locked up. And that's what he's saying. If you really want to be by the code, locked up, they're like getting along, right? And that's what he's saying. And from what I've seen on YouTube, of all places, right, and heard throughout the last couple of months and even year or so, that's just the word on the street, and that's what has come out to the street, is that there's like a peace treaty.
We gangbang on the streets. Our enemies are in our section, just like their enemies are in their section. So if there's different neighborhoods up there that represent the same thing we do in that section, yeah, they're probably gonna beef. And when they're on the streets, they're gonna keep beefing because that's their enemies. Them dudes ain't our street enemies, bro. Like they ain't our enemies out here.
Hours away.
So what you're essentially,
And that's crazy because they go to prison, right? And the way the gangs work in Cali, from what I've seen, right, over the years, and it's not a secret. This ain't like I'm divulging into something so crazy and underground. But in the street, well, it's like any place, right? You get a bunch of people together, they're gonna beef with each other. But in Cali, these groups are so close to each other, they beef amongst each other because they ain't really got no other enemies, right? But when they go to prison, they gotta ride with their people and all that street stuff. We seen it in Blood In, Blood Out too, right? Miklo was cool with his people, had to be cool with his people that were rivals of his street gang, out there in the street. So anyways, like I said, in prison, they have to abide by the rules of the commanding, group in there. And all that street stuff goes to the wayside. Ain't that kind of crazy? You beef with these people all your life in your little section, in your town, and you go to prison and you have to abide under this code, this prison code, and you have to be friends or be cordial or at peace with people that were your enemies on the street because it's a bigger group, a bigger faction that you represent and you have to ride with. That's pretty crazy.
what he's saying is like it's a prison thing, right? So,
And if they want to run that prison agenda, the agenda dictates that we ain't got no beef with them dudes. We programming with them dudes, and it's all respect to them dudes. So that's how we gonna carry ourselves out here. We stay out of shit. We just run. We do our own thing, but we always respect where what it is, and without having to go on the internet and explain ourselves or talk about the shit. We run the program that we were taught and that we're comfortable.
I'm gonna be honest, man. It will be hard. I'm a loudmouth Christian, Trump supporter, whatever, right? But it will be so hard to be these guys, right? It's like what Baldacci said. He finally had to sit up and say something because getting his name dragged through the mud, and he makes a rap song. That's what they do. But I don't feel bad for him, but I do kind of understand what he's saying. But I'll say this: it must suck to live by a code and you want to say something. I bet you these guys want to say way more stuff, but their integrity, the way they operate, it don't really let them do that. I think I forgot they actually call that in prison, where you're just woofing, right? You just keep talking loud and you're not doing nothing. But like I said, I do feel a certain way as far as like, damn, that would suck. You would want to say something, right? Imagine all the people that want to say something, especially to their haters and naysayers, yet they don't. They actually take the higher road and they never really say nothing. Because to be honest, y'all, talk is cheap. It's all about how you move and operate and maneuver throughout life, right? But man, that would suck though to want to always speak up. I bet there's a lot of people that are like that. They want to speak up and say something. They want to defend themselves and their reputation and their names, yet they just keep it moving and they remain silent, because really that's the more mature thing to do, is just to prove with your actions, not just your words.
With.
Yeah. I was going to say, man, like, that is one thing, because I just had Head up here, DJ Head, and we were talking about, I feel like Mexican hip-hop, or rappers that happen to be Mexican from L.A.,
right.
This is the best time we've ever seen.
Yeah, they on the rise, that's for sure.
In terms of just, there's a lot of people with movement. There's yourself.
And it's like me, I don't even listen to rap. I followed Homeboy on the right. I follow Baldacci. I follow Gotos, and it has nothing to do with the rap music. It might stem from something like that, but like I said, I'm a Christian patriot. I'm a conservative, but I'm not gonna lie. You know, the Cali stuff intrigues me. Certain people that look like me, got brown skin like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I'm gonna be honest, and I never like to pull the race card. Nothing. I'm just an American. I'm a Christian, but there is something that intrigues me about watching someone that looks like me. You know what I'm saying? Speak and have a platform and have a following. It's just interesting, So it's crazy that they are into the rap, but I'm looking at it, not even from a rap perspective. I'm looking at it from content creation, someone I follow online, and then I see the drama that they're into, and I'm making a video about it. Ain't that wild?
There's Lefty, there's the Coyote Boys, there's Peso, there's just a lot of guys, and but it also feels at the same time that it is the most splintered community in it. Because look, in LA on the black side, like it feels like a lot of artists are moving together more than they would have maybe 10 years ago. But I feel like on the Latin side, it feels like it's more segregated and divided. At a certain point in time, it just feels like everyone's always beefing, or
That's what it is, man. Everybody's just always at each other's throats, and it's like one person can't see the next person doing something because automatically they assume, oh, I'm gonna get left out. Shit don't work like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Let one get to the top, let him pull the other ones in. Some people, at the end of the day, it's like if you're not gonna be willing to help your people, then you don't belong in that position.
Yeah, and I feel like too, it's like, again, like I really have no place to speak on any of the street shit in terms of like the politics that you guys are involved in, but just from like a perspective of somebody who's in the music industry, right? Somebody who sees what works in business. It's like, man, like if LA moved together on the Latin front, like it'd be crazy, and not just LA though, LA and the Bay,
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's really talented dudes in the Bay.
LA, the Bay, Texas, Florida, New York, across the nation. But like I said, the heart of man, that's what they want to do, y'all. The pride, ego, always in warfare. That's just how man is, and that's how it's gonna be. That's my opinion.
Hey.
Strong factions and factors, and you know what I mean? It's like you definitely
And everyone's from the same state.
California, baby.
You know what I mean? And it's like, if you take yourself out of the bubble, and I'm not saying it's easy to do that, because if you're a part of certain gangs, and it's probably not the easiest. It's a lot easier for me to sit here and say that than the people are, like you guys living in it. But it just feels like, I hope that eventually that a lot of the negative, that even just conquering in LA, like everybody can kind of move together and put aside stuff that, like you said, like, I mean, there's certain people that, might not have ever even been to prison who feel a certain way,
And it's not always about, people that haven't been to the joint, because I've seen some people that never been to prison that conduct themselves damn near the same as us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's just the ones that haven't been to prison that act a certain way that kind of attract our attention, that it's like, bro, come on, you haven't done or lived this. Like,
and a lot of what
why
it
you
is,
acting like you have,
A lot of what it is that a lot of the real ones ain't out there on the internet all day.
Right.
The ones that are on the internet all day are them types of dudes.
That's what I was gonna say. To be honest, one of the realest dudes I know, he don't have a Facebook. He ain't on. Well, I guess he made an Instagram the other day. But one of my best friends, Cutthroat, he's somewhat family man now, but he ain't ever been loud on the internet. Until barely recently, he's discovered the internet. But this dude's right. Some of the realest, and I guess I don't even know how else to say it. Some of the realest will never be online or be broadcast to the world. It's just how it is.
The types of dudes that they're internet bangers, or they want to make their name off of street going ons in politics on their podcasts, and so they get to push this narrative because they're comfortable talking about these things on the internet. So all these little youngsters are thinking that these fake generals are the ones that are really plugged in, and what they're saying is right, when in reality he's teaching them to go against the grain. These dudes are teaching them to I feel this way, so I don't care what's going on over there. I'm gonna do this. They ain't gonna go to these yards and tell these dudes, I don't want to run with the program. They gonna get ran over, bro.
That's crazy what he said, and it's true. People that ain't never been to prison, are trying to dictate on the streets, their feelings and their emotions, right, and their stance, of course. But in reality, that's not how the program is being ran currently. That's wild what he's saying, man. This is pretty deep, man. I really like the homeboy on the right. I like Baldacci too, but this is some insight, y'all, that you won't really hear much of nowadays.
Like that's the way it works.
Facts.
So they're teaching they've got the attention from all these youngsters, and they're schooling them wrong. They're pointing them in the wrong direction, and it just came to a time where somebody had to put it to a stop, and they kept mentioning my boy's name, and it was time to put it to a stop.
Who? I mean, if you don't mind me, I only thing I seen that I think you and I talked about was I saw Bozo put up something, and I'm cool with Bozo. You know, I like Bozo's music. I think he's a solid dude. Like I've interviewed him, hung out with Bozo. I talked to him, a few times a year. But I saw what he had posted about the Gold Toast thing.
Well, I know
Body didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm blocked on his page, so I didn't see it. Some people send it.
Baldy, they call him Pelon. I put a video of I think it's Baldacci and Gold Toast situation, and man, I had a lot of comments on there, saying Pelon, that they stand with Pelon, F gang, and all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, this dude, Baldacci, Pelon, Baldy, they call him. This dude right here is tapped in for real, and I noticed that on my other video there, a lot of guys were saying, man, we stand with Pelon, all this stuff, and that's pretty interesting that he called him Baldy, but that's what they call him, Pelon. I saw that on my other video.
It to me. Honestly, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I looked at it and laughed only because it says if you're signed to GT Distribution. I'm not signed to GT Distribution.
Right.
So I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if you're speaking to me, but if you are, I mean, hey. Like, he called me, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Bozo called me and tried to tell me, what happened, what took place. I explained to him. I pulled up there. I talked to homeboy. I met him, showed face, but he went and did a interview somewhere. I don't know what it was on. I don't know if it was Camcom or what was it?
Probably Cam Capone.
Yeah, something. So he did an interview or whatnot, and, they posted up a certain clip of certain things he was saying. And it just went on from there. But, I mean, I took it as disrespect after he blocked me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool. I don't need to communicate with you anyways. Like, there wasn't that much communication anyways. Like, if anything, it was what's up. It was mutual. That's it. So, I mean, it didn't bother me none or nothing.
My thing is like, you guys are both like, leaders, in my opinion, and, I mean, I would just hope that, like, it's just a conversation away from
different views of everything, you know what I'm saying? And it's always going to be that. Like, at the end, I can't change somebody's mind that, has their mind that they're a certain individual or that they're these people that, you might be to them.
Okay, and there is the interview. Kev, what's his name? I forgot his name. Bootleg Kev, my bad, y'all. This other thing started playing. Anyway, so there's Baldacci with homeboy on the right. Let me get his name real quick. His IG says Fort_lifer. But anyways, there's the clip of them speaking with Kev, and a lot of good gems in that interview. I think they dropped the full one. Check it out if you get a chance. But like I said, very interesting. They're giving us a little glimpse into how this stuff's working in LA from Baldacci dealing with homeboy, what's his name? Bozo, my bad. It's wild. And this what's on the internet, right now. There's somewhat beef and drama, and that's just how it is. Again, like I said, from the outside looking in, we're just tripping out. But you know what? That's how they operate and maneuver in Cali, in LA of all places. So what can we say but just watch it and react to it? Anyways, with that, y'all, sorry for being so long-winded. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm out of here. Later.